Hello everyone. Last Monday we opened our doors to the general public here at Farm Street, and that was a great joy for me. A great joy to see people coming in and out, to pray, to reflect, to think about these last few weeks. I've had one or two conversations, not too many, but I can only imagine that when we sit and pray and reflect on this difficult time, we think of all sorts of things which we need to ask God for help with. I know people who have lost loved ones, who have been coping with sickness and suffering, for people who've been very lonely at this time, for people who've been victims of domestic abuse. And I know that our volunteers with the homeless in Trafalgar Square have daily been encountering people who've lost everything, lost jobs, lost homes, lost relationships, lost everything it might seem. Now the readings at this Sunday Mass invite us not to be afraid. It's there in the first reading from the prophet Jeremiah, and it's there in the Gospel. The Lord invites his disciples not to be afraid, but to continue, not simply to keep calm and carry on, but to act with integrity. That will make all the difference. That's easy to say. But the key to this, it seems to me, is that God has been with us from the start. The ancient prophets told us that. And that in Jesus, he has been through every suffering. Here in this church, we have a beautiful installation. You might have seen it. Homeless Jesus. Homeless Jesus depicts Jesus on a park bench, only visible because of the nails in his feet. A homeless person, destitute, having lost everything it might seem. Jesus is always with us. That's why we need not be afraid. And there's something else which comes to me when I meditate on this statue. And that is that we are called to a greater integrity. We are called always, wherever we are, to a greater service of those who might seem most vulnerable. At the moment, a lot of our efforts are into helping the homeless. It's a desperate situation, more and more, as the economic downturn at this time is bringing more people onto the streets. For me, although these weeks have been a Eucharistic fast, when we haven't had people to come in and celebrate the Mass with us, and when many of you will be feeling very deeply starvation from the Eucharist, we're being called to live out the Eucharist. To live out the Eucharist in our generosity to others, in our self-sacrifice, in our communion with the God who loves us deeply and who wants to bring us comfort and help. And so on this Sunday, may that God bless you and your families and friends now and forever, in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit.